All right, we're on a pursuit now, and we're bringing you special live coverage from Mark Kono of Sky 5. Not quite sure exactly where this is, but we should really stay with this picture because it looks like the pursuit has come to an end here. And the person that we understand is wanted for reckless driving, and it looks like they have come to a halt here. Mark Kono, if you can hear me, what do you know about this one?
Yeah, Eric and Jess, good morning. Here we go. We are in South LA. We are on a surface street, on an east-west surface street just on the east side of Broadway, where this pursuit has been going on for the better part of about 20 minutes at this point. Eric, as you mentioned, a reckless driving suspect wanted.
It's a Los Angeles.
Here. I've got a police helicopter I got to work with here. You guys got it.
No, go ahead. This, we understand, is a Los Angeles Police Department pursuit. So they're chasing after a pickup truck. Again, the driver wanted for reckless driving, and we can see
for TV 502.
there. It's hard to see. Of course, it's gone around an apartment building there that's blocking or obstructing our view, but it seems to be driving in a square. There, the pickup truck is again, and we're trying to get the exact location, but looks like one or two squad cars are behind this pickup truck. It's going at a high rate of speed, making mostly right turns. Thank goodness they didn't turn left there. And you can see front end damage.
That's going to be Main Street,
there
Main Street
on the left-hand side of the pickup truck. And this is happening in South Los Angeles, where this is happening. One of the streets involved is Main Street. I'm not quite sure where the intersection of Main Street is, but South Los Angeles, and clearly some front-end damage.
Going really fast.
Blown by other cars, using that middle turn lane there. Mark, are you back with us?
Only for a brief moment here, Eric. From what you can see, the driver of this pickup truck driving at a very high rate of speed here. We are now southbound along Main Street, heading down towards Imperial Highway and ultimately towards the 105 freeway here. Now, there are several layers of helicopter here, and so we are trying not to get in anyone's way, and we are, collided head-on with a parked vehicle here, and that, again, is going to be... southbound on Broadway, heading over towards the 105 freeway here. So, guys, we will see what this person does. As you can see, that he is very willing, or he or she is very willing to engage with other vehicles here. And let me send it back to you for just a moment here, guys.
Absolutely.
You know, Mark has to deal with a lot when he's up in the air there. There's LAPD helicopters and whatnot. So he's talking to air traffic control. Again, this is a pursuit. Initially wanted to stop this person for reckless driving. Now we're seeing reckless driving, unfortunately, through neighborhoods. We saw he hit a couple of parked cars. And on that very street, it looked like a few kids were playing on the sidewalk there. So this is incredibly dangerous when we see it moving through neighborhoods.
Getting on a freeway, it looks like possibly, in addition to the collision which we witnessed, you can see there's front-end damage to the pickup truck. So the left-hand side there, on the driver's side in the front, is badly damaged, and I'm going to assume that happened from another collision that happened prior to Sky 5 getting overhead of this thing. Now, looks like they might be getting on the freeway. That is the 110 freeway in South Los Angeles, and I'm not quite sure. Looked like they're going northbound, but I'm not 100% sure on that, and just blowing by the traffic on the freeway right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you think people are going 40, maybe 50 miles per hour on a freeway, and he's just whizzing past these cars. There is some traffic, though, and when that happens, usually we see the drivers during these pursuits, they become even riskier and take, moves that really put people's lives in danger.
He's using the shoulder there
in order to get around these slow-moving vehicles.
He's driving on the shoulder. Pretty soon, if the freeway is the way I think it is, it's going to run out of room.
Yeah.
So coming up on the Manchester Avenue off-ramp there, and just veering around traffic using the shoulder. And the vehicle looks like it is pretty heavily damaged there, at least on the front end. And now possibly getting off at the Manchester off-ramp, off the 110 freeway.
We don't know a whole lot other than this.
Yeah, 5 is just going to maintain 900 here.
Okay, he's talking to air traffic control there. Other than the person was wanted for reckless driving, now we're seeing this individual get off this off-ramp, excuse me, and again stopped at, a light behind some traffic.
We've seen one collision so far. We believe there have been others. Trying to go around traffic, driving up onto the dirt part there.
Okay,
cutting off a
off
car.
at Manchester, and it looks like he's going to go west on Manchester, be crossing underneath the 110 freeway here shortly, guys. Crossing underneath the 110 freeway, westbound on Manchester. So we are in the heart of South LA, now westbound on the major street here, and you can see this person fully engaged and completely willing to engage with other vehicles, other commuters on the road here. He just crashed into a parked car a couple of minutes ago. He just collided with a vehicle on the off-ramp for northbound 110 here at Manchester. So there are this is just an exceedingly busy area
Almost
here. Now
ran down a
southbound on
there.
Figueroa. Southbound on hang on here, guys. Southbound. Okay, southbound on Hoover. That's going to be Hoover. Hoover southbound from Manchester now is the direction of this guy. So he is basically making a circle along the 110 corridor, say between Slauson over on the north side and down towards Century on the south side here. But maybe an area of familiarity. We just don't know at this point. Now on the west side of the 110 freeway, southbound on Hoover, coming up towards Century Boulevard again. So let's see if he makes a turn towards us, and that is indeed what he is doing. Now he's making an eastbound turn on one of the numbered streets here, and he is heading over towards the 110 freeway once again here. So in South LA on the west side of the 110 freeway, now an eastbound turn. He's just now coming up on Figueroa here, guys. Coming up on Figueroa, a couple of vehicles, slower traffic in front of him, and it looks like he's going to try and get northbound Figueroa, and he'll be coming up on Manchester in a matter of just a couple of blocks here. He is being pursued by the LAPD here. At least 2 units that are about a block behind him. At any rate, there are at least 2 layers of police helicopter who are also following this guy very closely here. So again, northbound on Figueroa will be coming up on Manchester. Manchester in about a block or so, but you saw that. Wow, he just collided. Had a bad collision there. Looks like he took out that fence, and it looks like he still wants to make a go of it. I've got you there. He still wants to make a go of it here, but is he going to be disabled? We just don't know. We can tell you that a couple of those units have just caught up to him, and it looks like they are going to try and make the stop right here if the suspect indeed complies. I don't think he or she has come out of that truck yet. We're going to try and clean up the shot a little bit, get some of those wires out of the way, but several units of the LAPD now are right at the rear of this guy, and get those pedestrians out of the way here, guys. Crossfire, let's get these pedestrians out of the way here, guys, but just an exceedingly dangerous situation, a very fluid situation, and it looks like they're going to shoo those guys out of the way there, but it looks like that suspect's still inside of that pickup truck. We'll get that street here in just a minute. It's just going to be 1, maybe 2 blocks south of Manchester. You saw that turn that he tried to make here, but northbound on Figueroa, just 2 blocks south of Manchester is where we are, and it looks like that door might have popped open, so let's see if we've got a compliant suspect here. If in fact he shows his hands and starts making movements to get out of that truck, that'll be the best thing for him until we see that. It looks like, there we go, suspect now coming out of the vehicle, and now we have other onlookers climbing onto the rooftop of the adjacent building here. So wow, what a scene. What a scene here unfolding in South LA, where this suspect apparently is now giving up. Let's push in a little bit here, Rich. Let's push in. It looks like we have at least 1 male suspect here. I don't know that there are any other occupants in this vehicle, but it looks like the suspect has given in to the will of the LAPD at this point. And again, that is going to be the best thing for him, to lay down and to show his hands and to give himself up in a peaceful fashion here. So at the point that they take this guy into custody, they may make additional call-outs to see if there are any additional passengers in the vehicle. I don't know that there were any reported, but you can see that truck had some pretty dark tinted windows, and so I don't know that they were going to be able to see any additional suspects inside of that vehicle. So at any rate, they are just taking their time, and look at those two kids on top of the adjacent building having a look and seeing the action there. But again, off in the distance there, a couple of officers going to make a move over towards that Nissan pickup truck and clear the vehicle there, and every bit of attention being paid to this pickup truck as they work to clear it and look to see if there are any weapons, any people, any additional suspects that they may have to deal with here. But that one suspect, the driver of the vehicle, still prone down on the ground in the middle of the street here, and it looks like at some point they will call this a code 4 once they clear that vehicle and once they take that suspect into custody. Guys?
And you knew that this was going to end quickly because this driver was so reckless. We already saw one collision that they were involved in prior to this. Now officers rushing in, swarming the suspect and cuffing him.
Yeah, and here's an earlier video here on the right side of your screen when he crashed into 2 parked cars. This guy had zero regard for public safety. We saw him blow through stop signs, blow through medians, red lights. You see people there walking on the sidewalk. A pedestrian was almost
hit a pedestrian. There's the collision that we did see, and there was apparently one that happened earlier that we didn't see. But he almost ran down a person who was in the middle of a crosswalk at one point. And this is on the right-hand side of the screen. You see how it ended. He crashed into a power pole and through a metal gate, and looked like he was trying to keep going. I mean, he backed up as if he wanted to keep going. But eventually he opened the door and surrendered.
Yeah.
And now you see him being patted down, and he'll be brought over to a patrol car and taken off to jail.
And we're thankful that no one else was hurt in this.
An update to breaking news out of South Los Angeles. I'm Leslie Sykes with Philip Palmer, and police tell us the suspect who led them on a pursuit is a 45-year-old man wanted for reckless driving. The driver crashed a couple of times, almost hit a pedestrian as he made a turn on 92nd Street. He eventually crashed into a power pole on the 8800 block of Figueroa. We brought you this live as it happened. He tried to back up, but the truck would not move. Police surrounded that truck. The suspect surrendered and was taken into custody.